Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm all things sugar and shade Sade. Hey, and this is my best bit of Love Island USA season 7, and today I'm talking about episode 22, which was all about the Casa recoupling. Casa's officially over. We have new couples in the villa, and a lot of them. But before we get into it, guys, make sure you know what to do. You know what to do. Please like this video. You might as well do it now. Also, subscribe to my channel so you never miss a video, never miss a live. And share this with like-minded people too. I would really appreciate that. And get involved in the conversation in the comments. Okay, let's get into it. First of all, this episode was long. I honestly think they could have condensed it. And I feel like maybe the whole recoupling and the way that they've done this, obviously it was completely new because everybody had to couple up with someone and everybody came back to the villa. So I don't know. I need to think about it a bit more. I don't know if I like this. I think it's probably doing too much, probably making it overcomplicated. We were on the edge of our seats a little bit, but not as much as we could have been, to be honest. So yeah. Should they do this again? I'm not sure. Before we even get there, we need to talk about Nicolandria, because the day before we was just like, oh my God, this is the thing. They got us invested, they got us ready. We pick up the episode just after their kiss. They hide it from everybody. Orlandria even talks about that her girls aren't here, so she can't even talk about it. I mean, I don't even know how it would have gone down with the girls either. So that was a strange thing to say, but okay. They come downstairs and I can't remember who, but someone was just like, were you guys in soul ties? And Orlandria lies without missing a beat. She's like, no, we were on the day beds. And then I think Nick said, mind your business or something like that. They're not letting anybody know at this stage. Anyway, we see Taylor and Nick still being friends and like doing this special handshake. Orlandria remarks that she doesn't even have a handshake with Taylor. I mean, go figure, he doesn't like you, unfortunately. But Taylor is hugging on Orlandria too. But then the next day, they seem to have a conversation, as in Nick and Orlandria, and as quick as it happened is as quick as it died. So basically, they both came to the same conclusion that while they were kissing, that they were thinking about their respective partners. So Orlandria's thinking about Taylor and Nick was thinking about Cierra as well. So I feel like Nick is like, oh, I really, really wanted this thing. I wanted to try it and now he got it. Then reality kicks in. And I feel like Orlandria is pretty much the same as well. She was just like, the reality of it coming together. I've invested all this time into Taylor. It wouldn't make sense to pursue this. So it's a not for now kind of situation. Orlandria does say, you know, she found the kiss fun, but it just wasn't romantic. And Nick in confessional was just like, yeah, we've come to a mutual decision and we're better off as friends. So like maybe a different time, a different place. I know people are really shipping this. I even got involved. Like I was just like, oh, okay, cool. I can see it now, you know? But yeah, I thought it was going to be hella messy. It still might be hella messy, who knows? And the fact of the matter is, at this point in time, Orlandria is still hung up on Taylor. And like, she sees Taylor and Clark together and she's just like, I don't want to see this shit. Like, she's saying this to Nick. So her head is not with Nick at all. So Clark pulls Orlandria for a chat, which, yeah. Well, she said she was going to do it. I was going to say I wasn't expecting that, but she did say she was going to do that, actually, to be fair. So she stood on business with that. And, you know, she's just like, you know, I respect you. This is my strongest connection and I would be a fool not to explore it. And Orlandria's response is like, well, yeah, that's all nice and cute and that. She doesn't say that exactly. I'm really glad, I'm really happy that Taylor has tested our connection to the fullest. And that didn't sit well with Clark. She didn't like that her situation with Taylor was, you know, boiled down to a test. Like she's not a test, like it's real feelings for her. And she does say too, even though you guys are in a couple, you know, we're still going to do our thing, essentially. So yeah, Orlandria's just like, I'm not going nowhere. I'm here. I'm back. I'm going to make my presence known. Personally, I think she was doing too much. You can't be caping for this guy. And he has repeatedly shown you that he's not as interested in you as he is with this girl. Like, Orlandria, get up, stand up, stand up. And to add insult to injury, do you know what they done, which was also kind of funny? They had like this italic freaking version of The Boy Is Mine playing in the background. It was just like, it was kind of haunting as well. Like it was a bit sinister. I don't know. I don't know what they were doing, but it was actually kind of funny. When I realized what the song was, I was just like, oh my God, they're really playing this. So funny. And considering Brandy and Monica have just announced their tour, I thought that was hella funny, very on time. Well done, music people. So Taylor and Orlandria talk, and she tells him that she kissed Nick. Now, Taylor doesn't really react. He kind of makes a half of a face and doesn't really say anything. But Orlandria's quick to say, oh, you know, there was nothing in it. Like, we kind of just thought, like, let's explore. And it was kind of shut down really, really quickly. So she kind of didn't give him time to respond. But at the same time, if he really felt about her, he would have said something. And he didn't. I just feel like it's weird. Like, not even that it's weird. She is not reading the signs from him at all. She really isn't picking up what he's putting down. He don't care. He's not interested. He's found Clark and he's happy with Clark. She does also say to him that, you know, she rates Clark for pulling her for a chat because she wasn't going to do that at all. She was just going to basically ignore the situation. Taylor, you know, compares her to Clark, and Orlandria obviously does not like that. Like, no person likes that. Like, why would you do that? And somehow Orlandria has just literally convinced herself that the connection that Taylor has with Clark is just physical. And, you know, she's just like, well, we all know physical connections, like how they fizzle out, they don't last long. I swear to God, Nick told her that there was a physical and emotional connection between Taylor and Clark. And I think she's just ignoring that. Taylor, you know, he's still saying, I like both of you. He's really torn. And Orlandria does what I can only describe as begging. And she's just like, it's always been you. It's always going to be you. It's you. Like, I've put so much time, effort, dedication. Like, girl, if you're on this kind of state, no, like, no, like, you've known this guy for 3 weeks. No, he's like 3 years your junior. No. 3 years, yeah, 3 years her junior. No, she needs to get up on the floor. She needs to understand that what Nick says that she is who she is. He sees her. Okay, there's nothing romantic going on between her and Nick anymore. Okay, cool. But he saw her for who she is, a queen, a strong woman, beautiful, smart, all of these things. And Taylor's just like, just there. Nah, babe. When she started doing all that, I can't lie, it made me cringe. I really hope there's someone else in the villa for her. We'll see. Also, Orlandria is saying that she's never had to fight for anything so hard in her life. I was just like, oh, she must have it real bad. Like, this guy can't even kiss. He can't even kiss. Bro, maybe it's the pheromones or something. Maybe there's just something that's not translating through the screen that she's seeing or picking up on that we can't see. Because damn, she's really into that guy. Back in Casa, we see Chelley. She doesn't know what decision to make between Ace and Chris. She's really confused. We see Huda move in to Chris. So I think Chris was in the secret room. Huda went in to go and talk to him, and he's a bit stressed because he doesn't know what Shelley's going to do. And Huda's just like, yeah, I can understand that. Is there anyone else that you like? A leading question, no. And he was just like, well, you. I don't know if Huda was being genuine in this moment. I can't lie, because Huda was just like, yeah, I love Chelley, but, you know, that's why I didn't really want to come and talk to you because, you know, you'd already had your eyes set on her or something to that effect. But I think we see Huda with Chelley later on, but she doesn't mention anything. It's only until before the recoupling it seems they had a little bit of a conversation and she mentioned it. And I don't know whether the producers are showing, but it's almost like they struck a deal, because Huda's like, look, I'm single, you know, he's the only person in here, because her and JD are not getting on, by the way. They had a bit of a back and forth, not an argument, but a bit of like, he was just like, oh, you're too dominant. She was just like, okay, she walked away. So she weren't feeling JD. There was no way she was picking him. So the only person other than JD that she liked was Chris. So Chelley was just like, okay, I understand. It was almost that, is this coded language for like, let's make a plan here and like tell Chris to choose you and I'm not going to pick him, but still bring you back to the villa so we can still get to know each other? That's what it seemed like to me. So I don't know whether the producers were hinting at that. Then speaking of JD's also been grafting Amaya too. Obviously, Amaya is coupled up with Zach with a K, but JD also likes Amaya. So he's been bringing her breakfast and everything like that. We did see a conversation between Amaya and Zach, and I can't lie, I was just like a bit disappointed because I don't think Zach really likes her. He likes that she's into him, I think, but I don't think he genuinely likes her as a person. I don't think that's his type of girl. But Amaya is smitten. So she's just like, yeah, JD's bringing me breakfast, but, you know, I still like you. I like you because you don't, you know, you don't even have... It was almost like she was saying, I like you because you don't even have to do too much. It's just like, girl, like, no. No. She's in the confessional and she describes herself as a sensitive gangster, which I thought was hilarious. And I was just like, yeah, I like that term. I feel like maybe that's a little bit of me because every now and again I'll be crashing out, I'll be wilding out. Do you know what I mean? I have a little bit of cry and all that kind of stuff, but you know, every other day, nah. So I can really relate to that. But yeah, she was still debating between JD and Zach. But for me, it's like her mind was already made up. It was going to be Zach. Then the recoupling begins. So all the cast lot have come back to the main villa. They are all sitting down around the fire pit and the villa couples are revealed one by one. Ariana does tell them, she looked fire, by the way. Oh my God, her dress was amazing. Really on point. Loved the look this episode. She tells them as one person left Casa, one of the boys also left the villa. So they are kind of trying to work out who could have left. They have no idea at this point. And also they don't know that they didn't really leave. So the couples come out one by one. So we have Austin and Jaden, TJ and Vanna, Pepe and Grayson. I can't lie, at that point I was just like, is it all the whites? Why did they do that? It was so strange. And then we had Ace and Coco, Taylor and Clark. And then the girls obviously realize that Nick is not there and they start freaking out. The tears, the cries. Amaya is sobbing. Obviously, Cierra's crying. She's upset and everything like that. But Amaya is sobbing. And she's just doing it like a kid, like a toddler. She's probably sobbing. Oh my God. You can see Cierra is so upset. I think Ariana asked her a question. She can only just manage to say like, you know, I'm really happy that the guys are here, but obviously this really sucks. Like I'm just in a lot of shock right now. She was really, really, really cut up. I don't know if this is fair though also, because what that did is really heighten Cierra's emotions. So any chance with Elan is now kind of diminished because she's had this outpouring, this moment of loss, you know? So then when they do reveal that actually Nick and Orlandria are actually back, of course she's going to have this euphoria, she's going to have this joy, you know, and that can strengthen the bond. So not really fair to Elan. I don't think it's fair, really. But anyway, when they arrived in the villa, Nick and Orlandia, they couldn't even compose themselves. The girls ran over to Orlandia and Cierra, obviously with Nick. They're kissing and everything. I'm pretty sure that wasn't supposed to happen. But yeah, it was a beautiful thing to see, like them just having her back and Cierra having Nick back. It was just like, yeah, this is cool. That was like a peak moment of the episode. I'm not gonna lie, I like that a lot. So of course Ariana explains that, you know, Nick and Orlandria were given a lifeline to couple up together and to return to the main villa. So then it's time to decide whether they're going to stay in their current couples or they're going to recouple with someone else. But how they do this is they get them to stand in this heart formation and everybody writes down who they want to couple up with. They get called one by one to the middle, and anybody who wants to be coupled up with them gets called to the middle also. So then whoever's there, if their names match, then that's going to be the couple, and the person that didn't match is then single and vulnerable. So yeah, I think it's a bit long-winded. I think it's a little bit long-winded. There was a little bit of suspense, but then I don't know. I just think it's a bit much. It doesn't have to be like this. It could be really, really easy. So I'll just run through these really quickly. Austin was matched with Jaden. No one else got in the way of that. For Amaya, she had both Zach and JD step forward. She chose Zach. I don't know why, but she chose Zach. Maybe there's something really wrong with JD. Who knows? Pepe and Gracelyn, Andrina and Brian. For TJ, he had a choice between Vanna and Iris. And then Iris also had a choice of Zach. So there was like, I think 4 people in the circle at that point. And TJ picked Iris and Iris picked TJ. So they were a couple. So the other 2 were vulnerable. Wasn't the slightest bit interested in their dynamic at all. I just don't think we saw enough of them to be invested, to be honest. Then we had Ace. So obviously Coco and Chelley stepped forward, both wearing yellow. Also, Orlandria was wearing yellow as well. There was a lot of black girls in yellow. And I was trying to work out, are they wearing similar dresses or the same dress but styled differently? I couldn't work it out. So Coco was basically saying that she liked Ace because he was really sweet to her, made her feel special. Chelley was just like, we have a very strong connection. And, you know, basically saying absence makes the heart grow fonder. Ace then goes to pull out his name and then they went to a freaking ad break. Oh my God. Really playing with our emotions on that one. I can't lie. And they come back and he picks Chelley. I think this was predictable. I was a bit disappointed, of course, for Chris, but because of the early conversation with Huda, I knew that it wasn't going to happen. They had made their plan, so I'd already dashed my hopes. But at least Chris is in the villa still. Ace also does say that he missed Chelley every single day, which is kind of cute, I guess. Let's see. I don't like Ace for Chelley. I don't like Ace, I guess so. So no surprises. Huda picks Chris. Huda says about Chris that, you know, we make each other laugh. Having him here would be great to explore, but he can also explore other connections as well. Yep, got it. Understood. You guys made a plan. Then it was Cierra, and the Cierra, of course, both Nick and Elan stepped forward for her. Basically twins. They look so freaking similar. It's crazy. It's actually really, really crazy. They were complimenting her really well. So it was like a compliment war. Elan said he likes Cierra's dynamic personality and he feels like he knows her deeply. And Nick was just like, there was so many things I didn't get to say. And now that I've got a second chance, I really can't wait for us to grow. So that was it. Cierra's response to that was just like, you know what? I've got 2 amazing guys in front of me. Thank you so much for allowing me the chance to experience you, which was just like, I love the way she talks. Honestly, she experienced the both of them. Love it. But ultimately, Cierra, of course, chooses Nick and they kiss passionately. And Elan is just standing there looking like a freaking lemon, like, don't know where to look, like, okay, cool. I guess he should expect it because Cierra wasn't hugging him in bed. She wasn't kissing him outside of challenges. You know, he should have kind of expected it. Now, what Cierra does need to do is hold on because she doesn't know everything that went down. She doesn't know about Nick and Orlandia, and I really wonder who's going to tell her first. Nick should really and truly because he is the loyalty to her. I don't know how Cierra's going to take it because she is quite an accommodating person and she's quite understanding. So let's see if there's any fallout from this or not. I'm not too sure. I doubt it, but you never know. Maybe she'll be at the end of her tether and just think like, you are literally supposed to be my friend. Like, why did you do that? Especially because it's not even going anywhere. So it's just like for the heck of it, you know? So then they start playing the boys' mind again. So you know what's up. It is Taylor and he's last to go. I know that Ace is probably thinking, that should be me. I know he wants the storyline. I know he wants that. But yeah, Taylor's there, standing in the middle. And obviously Clark and Orlandria step forward. Clark says, Taylor's been my #1 pick since I got here, and he's very caring and he's made me feel so very comfortable. And Orlandria is just like, we've been on a crazy journey and we've always found our way back to each other. And she said, the amount of time and dedication I've put into this, it'll be crazy to give that up. He is about to pull out a card and they done it again. They done an ad break. So annoying. So annoying. Oh, and the thing is, you see a clip, a glimpse of Coco's face before the ad break, so she just looks really shocked, and that's what made me think, oh my god, it's Clark. It has to be Clark. And lo and behold, as we come back, he pulls out his card and it's Clark. Clark can't stop smiling, by the way. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it. I don't know, I was in shock. All I can hear though is Amaya going, Taylor, Tay, like everybody, like, you can't be serious. Did you actually just call Clark's name? Like, we just got Orlandria back. Like, what do you mean? Hey. There's no way. There's obviously no way. It was a lot. So Orlandria obviously was disappointed. She said, I went outside my comfort zone. I even asked him, what else can I do? I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. She's hurt. The girl is hurt. There was nothing else she could have done because he didn't like her enough. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like you have to know how to read the signs. He weren't interested. He told her what was up when she came back to the villa, and that, you know, he had a deep connection with this girl in such a short amount of time. And she dismissed it as just a physical connection, thinking that he wouldn't choose her. And she called it very, very wrongly. But the signs were there. So Clark is asked, how does she feel? And she's just like, I'm a little surprised, because obviously they did have a very strong connection. But, you know, I'm excited and looking forward to exploring my connection with Taylor. So, yeah, she's chuffed to bits. Like, she got picked at the end of the day, you know? And especially when Orlandria was called what they had a test, she didn't like that. So now she feels a bit vindicated. So hopefully there's no bad blood between them. I really hope not, because I don't really want to see that. And it is wild though. How are you going to pick someone you've been with for 3 days over someone you was with for 3 weeks? Then that means you really didn't like her. That means that you just lied, really. And I think that Orlandria is going to come to that realization that, okay, maybe this guy wasn't honest. Maybe this guy was biding his time. Maybe this guy is a game player. And she would be exactly right, because that's exactly what Taylor is. And he needs to leave the villa. Get them out. So that's it. Casa is over, but they have 9 couples and 6 people who are single and vulnerable. So that is Orlandria, Vanna, Coco, JD, Elan, and Zach. So they all have to stand in the center. Ariana explains to the villa that they have the opportunity to save 1 boy and 1 girl, and they have to deliberate. Casa gets to save one of the boys, and the villa gets to save one of the girls. And I think they've done it that way because the girls would obviously save Orlandria. So they do show some of the deliberation this time. And I can't lie, for the villa, which is mainly the boys, the OG boys, like, they are not saying Orlandria's name frequently or loud enough for my liking. Didn't like that at all. It was only Nick that was really advocating for her, it seemed, you know? So Ace was mentioning Coco. I think Taylor was even saying, like, if she stays, then she's just going to be on me, or something to that kind of effect. But yeah, they cut it short. So then they do the announcements of who they're actually going to pick. So for Casa, Brian, he's the one that stands up and gives the message. He was just like, this guy came in with great intention and everything like that. So they chose Elan. It's an interesting pick. Cierra's happy, I'm sure. Not too sure if Nick is going to be happy about that one. And then we go to the villa. Pepe is the one giving the talk and says this person has always put their best foot forward, and they picked Orlandria. Thank God, because everybody would have lost their minds if they didn't, and it would have been an absolute travesty if they didn't pick her. So what I was thinking though is, because Elan now is in the villa too, and he looks like Nick, maybe there's a Elan and Orlandria situation. But then also people don't like Elan because they think he's a Zionist. I still don't know how true that is. I'm just reserving judgment until I think he addresses it. And I want to hear what he's got to say about things before we label him, because so many things can be taken out of context, or you can be someone who's from a certain area but you don't believe the things that other people believe. Or do you know what I mean? We don't know his story, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt in this instance until we hear him speak. But anyway, so we have JD, Vanna, Zach, and Coco all dumped from the island and have to go home. But yeah, it was a big episode reflecting, I think 70% I'm against this formatting of Casa. The bits that I do like is that they all have to couple up. I really think that that is a good way to start off Casa, so people actually explore real connections. So I think that's great. Yeah, I think that's the best part about it. But I don't think that everybody should have gone back to the villa. Not like that. I think we should have the suspense of, are they going to come back alone? And then also that really dispels people making up their mind in the moment as well, because they're already acclimatized and they're already kind of like, oh, I've seen you again, so you're my person. They could be doing eyes at each other. I don't know. But they had a moment to kind of process before they made their final decision. So I don't like that. When they come in with the person or come in alone, they've already made their decision without being influenced by anything at all. So I think that's purer. That's a purer way to do it. Maybe a slightly more honest way to do it, in my opinion. And that's it. Those were my best bits for this episode. If you've watched to the end, you know I love you the most. Please, though, make sure you like this video. Get involved in the conversation in the chat as well. Do you like this format? Do you not like this format? Could it be better? Should they just go back to the original? Did the right people go home? Are there too many people in the goddamn villa? Because it's looking very crowded. Oh my God, we've got 9 couples and then 2 additional people. It's a lot. It's a lot. Also, subscribe to the channel and share with like-minded people. Okay, guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye.